Real quick, you both stop the real quick touch. Double check the steering wheel.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa. GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Tonight, the Mystic Racing League makes its way to the state of Tennessee once more. After a wild race, to say the least, last night in one series, we shuffled to the venue of Nashville Superspeedway for the Slim Chickens NASCAR Cup Series, as tonight, we're all set to go for this evening's action to start off the month of July. Heading to the 4th of July weekend, the America 250 is here on VSPEED. Welcome to tonight's coverage. I'm Justin Prince, alongside the booth for tonight's Morgan Cook. He's using cameras provided by the great Dougie Beard, as we are getting all set to go for what will be an interesting race tonight here from Nashville Superspeedway. For those who followed along with the Caswell Glass Company Series race at the fairgrounds, it was wild in the second half of the race with plenty of cautions. Tonight's going to be a completely different type of race, Morgan, as these drivers will have to try extremely hard if they want to replicate the amount of contact that you see at a short track.
Well, good news is I'm in the booth tonight, so half the contact already removed from the racetrack. That was not my best effort last night. Regardless, this racetrack much more like a mile and a half than a short track, though there is a decent amount of braking into these corners to get this thing settled down and make it through turns 1 and 2. That turn 4 wall will jump out and get you as well if you're not paying attention.
Few drivers have been caught off guard by that, to say the very least, as of late. But right now, this is a look at how the cut's looking coming in. River Hayes is your points leader here in the Cup Series over Isaac Wilson. River Hayes has won 5 races. Wilson has been relatively consistent week in and week out. that being in mind for a lot of these drivers up towards the top, the pressure is on for those at the cut line. It's 22 points for Aaron Baum at the moment over Zach White. Remember, Aaron Baum started the season with a ton of momentum, missed some races, and now drivers like Zach White and a couple others are looking to provide some pressure. But qualifying already just concluded for the drivers tonight for what will be a bit of a lengthy one, to say the very least, for these competitors. More than 180 laps from Nashville, with a quick first stage, a lengthy second, and a lengthy third. The drivers are making their way to the starting grid, where River Hayes will start on the pole tonight. We have plenty of newer drivers making appearances, like Skylar Dixon, who's in a Nashville Predators machine, in second spot. You'll find Becca Brown in row 2 alongside him, Christian Barnes in the 27. Row 3, 7 Hawthorne makes an appearance. He'll start alongside Dustin Lewis in the 8 car. Isaac Wilson gets himself a good qualifying position. Ricky Paz makes an air appearance in this series inside the top 8. Quentin Goods in 9th and Jacob Cochran in the top 10.
Starting 11th here this evening will be Zachary King in the 51, with Elijah Maupin starting in the 12th position. 13th for McCoy Benke in the 19. Michael Daly starts 14th. 15th for Indy Kirkenbauer. 16th for Aaron Underhill, making a debut here tonight. Ryan Rose makes another return. He'll start 17th. John Ullman in 18th, series regular. Your top 20, Lauren Vincent and Reggie Kime.
They'll look to keep it clean tonight in front of Joshua Gill, and also James Sturdivant makes an appearance for the first time in a long while in 22nd. Then Harold Tucker, third, and Zach White are behind them. Tucker did miss the start. Jared Knopsnyder and Trevor Yates are your last couple drivers in your grid. We had 26 attempt to qualify tonight here from Nashville. As the cars make their way onto the racetrack, Morgan, your keys to victory, because keep in mind, stage 1 we're good on gas. Stage 2 is a no.
Yeah, stage 2 there will be a pit stop somewhere in that stage, whether it's under green or under caution. You're going to have to make one of those stops happen. So my suggestion would be, in the first stage, try and get your track position, and then stage 2, do what you can to stay up near the front. This place typically gets pretty spread out with how much aero matters and how tight it is to make passes around here. With your 4 tire sets and your fuel at 40 to 45 laps, there's a little bit of wiggle room there with shifting that you can save a little bit more fuel than you would expect. Fix that up as always in this series.
And so this field will have an interesting time here, you have to think as well, in regards to potential tire fall off. But who do you feel this track fits the best out of this field tonight?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a track that requires patience. This is one that you can really attack, especially on entry. This is really more of a get the car woed up for the center of the corner and be able to drive up off the corner smoothly and without hurting the tires. I like River Hayes. I mean, it's hard not to think that 81 who's been on a tear recently is going to be quite good today. Isaac Wilson, this track kind of speaks to me. I think that he'd be good here as well, with how kind of calm and patient he's been a lot of the season. And I mean, there are others. I could go through the field, but I feel like it's going to be calm and patience that gets the job done here tonight.
Happy with us for tonight's coverage here on VSPEED, the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Ready to roll for some thrilling action. Happy 4th of July weekend for those who celebrate. And as we get all set to see the Eagles soar around this track, let's see how they'll battle it out. The field down the front straightaway, ready to go. We're underway on VSPEED.
And we're wrecking.
Wow, that was quick. That includes River Hayes, and that was near instant.
Yep, that is not what you expect to see. And we got a whole bunch of cars suffering fairly heavy damage. Remember, no faster pairs here tonight, so you got what you got. And a few drivers just ended their shot, potentially getting the victory lane.
And let's see what happened here. Well, that was in progress.
One more time here.
You obviously don't expect that on the initial start of the race. That happened so quick, I'm not sure how that even happened here on Freshies.
I would have to imagine just that low gear down in second. I'm assuming they're launching in second. Just had too much, too much rear power because they both did it simultaneously, right? As soon as they touched the pedal, they both did the same thing. So they had their incident, and then further back, the 15 is where this really got a lot worse. Ryan Rose. Let's go back another time and see the Logitech 15. Not saying it's his fault necessarily. I mean, they checked up in front of him. Just he was the catalyst for more contact.
Yeah, you see they're checking up here and there. Then bam, 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 everybody bumping in the first place, and right into the pile goes the field. The 15 gasses up in.
Got the 92 pretty good in the quarter panel. Elijah Maupin, and the 52 piles in. That is Michael Daly. Probably not what drivers expected right off the rip.
Race control says if that was your goal, that's a 10. Well, obviously, their chance for the race win taking some massive hits with that. Christian Barnes is up here with heavy bumper damage. And a lot of drivers are probably going to be having to think, what do I do now? Because there's at least 2 or 3 drivers who are up in the top 10 that have pretty significant damage where they're going to spend at least a few seconds down pit road.
I mean, if you got damage out of that, I think you have to pit here just to know what you have for damage. And we have a long race. 188 laps is a long time around here, with at least 2 guaranteed yellows being stage 1 and stage 2. Take time, fix it up. There we go. We see the 27, the 8 hitting pit road here. That will help significantly with their efforts to repair their damage. At least see how bad it is, if it's 5 minutes or if it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, that includes drivers on top of it. Zachary King coming down pit road. You also have drivers in the back, like Joshua Gillen, at the very least taking the time to top off here. Now, obviously, for those who don't know, we're both Canadians. We had Canada Day this past weekend, but obviously a lot of these drivers going to have that patriotic feel to this weekend, especially with the holiday coming up on Saturday. I know this may sound like an interesting question, but what did you do for your national holiday week, or day, if you will, and what we may see from the others?
Yeah, well, I had a friend ask me, what is the difference between the 4th of July and Canada Day? And my answer was less blue, and dial it back just a little bit. But for the most part, similar activities. Did some barbecuing. There were fireworks. You know, the things that you expect to do on a nice July day. At least it was over here, a pretty nice July day. I'm not sure about you down where you are in the country, but regardless, that's what we do around here. And yeah, it was a good week so far.
Sounds good. All I can say is it feels like an oven just about everywhere in terms of the heat. So these drivers are looking to try and make sure they don't get burned tonight as you see the choose underway. But a couple drivers with choose violations at the fairgrounds in the Caswell Glass Company Series. This time, drivers not taking any chances, going either right to the bottom or right to the wall, not even getting close to the middle.
This would be a hard one to get a choose violation at. You'd have to just be not paying attention to miss here, considering how wide this racetrack is on the front stretch. Here we go. Choose is good.
Choose looks to be good with that in mind. And so the field will set itself up pretty quickly. Again, up at the front of the field for this restart, includes Beckett Brown now, 7 Hawthorne, Isaac Wilson, Ricky Paz, Clayton Good, Clay Banky, Indy Kirchenbauer making an appearance here in this series. Aaron Underhill, Lauren Vincent, and John Ullman. Now, the interesting for the 5 machine in the field tonight, that is an open-wheel driver that's appeared in some of the Euro SOF top split races, making an appearance in this series tonight. Like one of those crossovers from MRL's IndyCar Ventures. But these drivers in Nashville are off and away on the gas, back on their way with a good jump. Green flag came out after the flag stand. I don't think I've seen that one before.
Yeah, flagman sleeping that time around. Regardless, Beckett Brown's going to get out to the jump. 7 Hawthorne, Ricky Paz, your top 3 single file for most of the field all the way back. It's Cochran trying to make a pass. That's the first time we see drivers side by side.
Yeah, a few of those drivers just searching around to figure out where they can find a little bit of an advantage, I guess you could say. But it's obviously a little bit different with it being the short one. This type of racetrack does put in some challenges, and a lot of these drivers will stick to the bottom tonight. Kirchenbauer amongst those trying to push hard. That's the VRL machine going to the inside. Battling inside the top 10 here. First fight up at the front.
We'll clear that spot around Clayton Good. Kirchenbauer up to the 6th position. Still single file everyone in front of them as Hawthorne's trying to take the fight to Beckett Brown. He got to the back bumper, but Arrow is going to be very difficult to overcome on this tighter radius corner.
It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on as we turn the laps. But as we go, Kirchenbauer is one of those obviously not afraid to use up the tires here. He is pushing hard underhill, nearly understeered into the wall.
Have to wonder if drivers having that caution right off the rip to change things, as Hawthorne had a poke at the lead over Brown. If they're thinking, we've already used up 8 laps of this 40-lap run, we know we can make it on fuel, let's just give it all we can give it, see how bad we have to save tires later. Or if drivers are at the moment holding back a little bit to be able to have speed at the end of this run. It's a gamble because you never know if a caution is going to come out or not.
Exactly. And really at this type of racetrack, you can either get long runs or you get some trouble down the front straightaway that brings you under the caution flag. Right now, the field doing its thing as it works its way through the corner. As you can see, Beckett Brown, Musto's trying to play very slow for his center off speed. Make sure not to chew up the tires, and he's amongst those doing shifting.
Yeah, shifting will make you faster for sure on the short run. Not sure how bad it'll impact you in the long run. If you're building loose, you'll be okay. If you're building tight, that'll be questionable to see what that looks like. The negative though about shifting is you burn more fuel doing that. Being in fourth gear in this case, is much worse on fuel than just riding in 5th all the way around.
Absolutely. See how some of the drivers settle on in. You see in the field. That includes drivers just trying to attack the wall. Not Snyder bouncing off of it. RG Kime with the caution period. Alonso's taking advantage of track position. Same for Yates, who's already up inside the top 12. In fact, up approaching the top 10.
Big Monster Energy 10 car. Never know what to make of this driver. Some weeks, he goes out here and just flat out dominates races. And we ask, where did that come from? In other weeks, he runs 11th. Maybe he'll get up to the front. We'll see.
Big test coming up here over the course of the run, absolutely.
King will take that spot real quick.
Exactly. See some of the drivers really trying to push. But really, remember, some of the drivers came in topped off. Kane was amongst those who did peel down with the quick yellow flag. He's getting a little bit of insurance for now as we see how Kime works on the high side of Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes trying to work through traffic. Remember, started up at the front, got caught up in that initial lap melee, knocked the front end in, so he's working back through the field as Woolman's going the wrong way.
Yeah,
Yates just knocked the fence down.
Yeah, added some damage to his machine. Can't be doing that right now, but he did. And the thing is, obviously, drivers are going to be pushing at different rates, as we touched upon. But relatively speaking, when it comes to this racetrack in general, it's another one of those types of facilities that also with the concrete surface is different than a lot of the others. That was near 3 wide for Yates.
Yeah, Yates is under fire right now, and he's sliding back quite quickly, and a couple more right behind him. Make this tough. Oh, Cochran up the hill. He hit the apron. That's going to check everybody up. Good job, drivers, not making that into a 4-car accident.
Keeping pretty aggressive here, I'm noticing, on a couple of these pokes at least. The 10's doing.
One.
Now it's 3,
Oh,
and there he
there
goes.
goes the 10.
Yep, could see that coming. That was too low coming out the corner, Morgan.
Yeah, just snapped loose on him. The load didn't agree with the tires, and luckily into the grass. Pretty small slide there. Didn't end up hurting anyone else's race. Just a quick little incident there. Underhill running in the 6th spot. Up at the front, not missing a darn thing. Beckett Brown has stretched out the lead to half a second over 7 Hawthorne. Paz, Wilson, and Kirkenbauer are your top 5.
So far, so solid for the 45, who, whenever seen Brown, has been fast. He's top 6 in the points now after originally starting part-time and then making the waves now in every car they've thrown him in with every number. He's really taken advantage of the trouble that started this race from the get-go and has nailed this track. He was very solid last year here, too, if memory serves correctly, when there was an action for some of the competitors last year.
Yeah, he's a wheel man. Beckett Brown has been, as you mentioned, good everywhere. One on road courses, has won 1.5 miles, been fast at short tracks, super speedways, just good everywhere. So, not surprised at all to see him doing well, as we have quite the battle further back. This is for 19th position. Moppin, Dixon, among others. Knopfschneider as well.
Just see how much a few of these drivers are having the differences play out in runs. Remember Kirchenbauer, by the way,
had a problem.
Yeah. Let's see. He's dropped down to 6th. I was wondering, he's pushing too much. He's struggling on handling now.
And he got some help here. Oh, yes, he did. What a save. Oh, he hit the wall pretty good, though.
So Kirkenbauer knocking the wall in, and now the 5 is dealing with significant right side damage and is struggling to keep straight down the straight lines.
I cannot imagine that he's very pleased with the 14, who just sailed him off into the corner. And well, that's Daly at the bottom of the racetrack. Something has gone awry with the 52, who is now a lap down.
Right now where they shuffle. Right now that's Michael Daly with heavy damage. Behind them, drivers like Kime. Dropping back. River Hayes, recovery so far to 15th for car 81.
Obviously started on pole, so that car has speed. You just wonder how much speed got knocked out of it with that spin in front of the field. I don't think he caught much damage out of it, just a little bit on the nose. But it seems to be all right. I mean, his lap time's only a couple tenths off the leader. He is in heavy, heavy traffic.
Yeah, this could get interesting here for a few of the drivers. Shout out to the Brown family, by the way, who apparently sent $20 our direction here on VSPEED, because Beckett Brown was the fastest driver of the entire weekend at the Logitech simulator, apparently. Shout out to them. Kane on screen, meanwhile, passing by the 5. That shows again the difference on the damage coming into play for that Toyota. Banky coming on through. Good. Barnes, Cochran in the line.
A lot of drivers here lined up behind the 5, ready to take advantage of Indy Kirkenbauer, who is desperately hoping for a caution. Oh, McCoy, there's a car there. Holy cow. I didn't know if the 19 was aware of the 5's presence. I thought that at least one of those cars is going to be in the outside wall. You can just see how tight Kirkenbauer is. That thing will not turn. Going to give up a whole host of spots here.
At this point, just needs the caution flag to fix the car. There's not much you can do when the Aero is that destroyed, it seems, when it comes to Kirkenbauer's pace here.
But back to Brown. Have you ever been to a racetrack that had one of those simulators at it? Have you ever had a rip at the simulator time? See where you shake up, JP?
I've ran simulators before in terms of working with some of the companies freelance-wise, but not in a competition directly competed, no.
I have. Wasn't great. Regardless, congrats to Beckett Brown being the fastest at San Diego weekend in what is certainly one of the paint schemes that's ever been made.
Yeah, that is... I can't tell if that is a mix of actual drawings, AI, actual logos, AI logos. I don't know. It's a crocodiles in the back. I can't tell what's on the front. And there's a lot of everything everywhere on that Graham Crackers racing car.
Sure is. Sure is. A little further back, Christian Barr still trying to make that charge forward, catching up to McCoy Benke. Can he get to the outside and clear? No. Benke still has the run up off of turn number 2.
Still, Barnes, once those trying to push forward on the bumper damage we talked about, spent about a minute fixing the race car, but delivered some speed, and he seems to be having it. How much? He's kind of moving through this pack right now. He's going to try and take over 7 from the 19 car. Benke stays low. And up the truck in front of him to set the cross up.
Yeah, you could hear it when he downshifted. Benke's car started to wobble. Barnes is able to stay straight, carry a little bit more momentum. Made that pass off of 2 down into 3 and will easily clear. That was Cochran all over the back of Good. The 88 up a spot or 2. Currently running in 10th. Remember, 10 laps to go until we end stage number 1. Pay out some points.
Yep, speed our way through the stage here, if you will, after the initial start of the race with the caution flag. But everyone else has been giving some good space here, including Good. Good speed still holding off Cochran in this battle pack also. Just outside of it is Dustin Lewis, the battle for the back end of stage points here.
Look at the battle for 16th right now. Dixon and Ullman side by side. Dixon on the way forward as well. Remember, started front row, started second, so 89 has short run speed again. Same question as the 81 is how bad is the car? River Hayes only up to 12th. Not going to get stage points here unless something outlandish were to happen, and it looks like something outlandish may just happen. As these 4 in a gaggle up. Oh, Good's in the wall.
Scrape in that situation there, trying to get around the 19. Up the track, meanwhile, nearly stopping with Sturtevant. Good still trying to pass by Benke. 19 taking some scrapes as of late, and the pace is falling off. The 19 struggling, center in. And now Good and co look to take advantage.
You can tell he's definitely not turning well off the corner. That was such an aggressive move off the corner. Almost 3 wide. Lewis had a peek, said, nah, let it ride 2 wide. Now caution is out. It's Maupin and Ullman, the drivers we were just looking at. Oh, there goes Tucker the third as well. Spinning in the aftermath.
Yeah, I don't know how that came into play for him, but I think those two, the 34-92, they've been trying to fight towards the higher part of the racetrack. Tucker the third still turning around. You see the replay.
Happened well off the corner. Maupin, I think, expected Ullman to go down a little bit lower, and I don't know what happened to the 79. It's like he was trying to avoid Kime, and they're both slowing down, and just that was odd. Let's try one more time. Look at the 34 and 92. We'll flag back to Tucker. Yeah, I think Maupin just expected Ullman to keep going down to the bottom. I mean, Ullman was 2 lanes up off the normal groove. when you go down to the yellow line in the center of the corner, or sorry, center of the straightaway, and yeah, got hooked for his efforts.
And then you have technical third coming into play. What happened here to the 79?
Really late downshift too.
And look out.
Did he upshift? I think he upshifted and it upset the car. One more time.
I am not sure. Let's listen. Collision under caution, by the way, Kirchenbauer. Or Kirchenbauer just went around.
Have a look at that in a moment here. So he's fourth gear. There's fifth gear. Yeah, something to do with the timing of that shift. Just did not agree with that car.
And another 4 different drivers picked up contact of the yellow flag.
Look at the nose of that car.
Yeah, it's crushed.
So Kirchenbauer said went around.
Yeah, he went and downshifted and spun in front of a couple cars and slammed around. You see some of the drivers that are involved in the backdrop there, right here.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, it didn't hold the brakes.
Oh no. 89 not having a good start to the day. There's the
Second
10.
incident.
Went around as well, just a second incident.
Yeah, both had the same thought.
Well, at the top of the show, you said they're going to have to try hard to match last night, but drivers are exceeding expectations, I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
I guess you can say that indeed. And as a result of these situations here, we're getting ready for the restart with Seven Hawthorne and Ricky Paz up at the front. Then it's Wilson and King. King amongst those who came down previously.
Pit under that first caution, lap number 1.
Yep, doing a solid job at it. Up the front, Beckett Brown is one of those who did pit, but he only took a 5-second pit stop. I believe he topped off the second time, though, so he is thinking already about fuel mileage for stage 2 to play around with the flip.
Doesn't care about stage points in this situation. Might as well get some fuel, set yourself up for later in the race.
Green, we're back underway. And it's Seven Hawthorne who's in control. First time up at the front in a while for the 54 in this series. He looks to try and settle away with 5 laps to go. A lot of hard fighting in the middle of that top 10 still. Near contact for Underhill. Had the 88 of Cochran go underneath. They're still 3 wide.
All those drivers who were not quite in stage 1 contention or were locked into their spot, they're pretty pleased with that accident, the ability to get some more spots out of it. A few under fire, though. Underhill starting to fall back into 7th. And him and Cochran are plugging the hole, and there goes Hayes right to the middle. He's going to get into the 14. Underhill, great save. No stage points for him, though.
Able to hold on to it, and now looks to steady it out for the pack sake at least. You see one of the drivers not being caught, though. That's Dixon involved in a bit of that stack up. He's still got heavy damage on that 89.
Oh, he got McCoy. Benke around. There's the yellow.
Banky's not happy as he rolls it down to the grass. And that is towards the end of the stage. That might be it here.
That should be the end of the stage, I would imagine.
And we'll see what happened here. Banker was not happy about the 3 wide of the radio.
And why he'll be exceptionally not happy is he was in contention to get a stage point. He was 11th at the time of the spin.
Yeah. And 79 is going to get penalized for a drop down the apron before the restart. See, they were all trying to battle it out with that 07 up at the top, Lauren Vincent. Vincent was given plenty of space. there we go. That's why we're back to yellow flag, almost to the stage. We're less than this will be stage. Race control has now confirmed. They have given warnings to the entire back half of the field because the entire back half of the field was not in line properly for the restart zone. There's a lot going on here. All of the 7 Hawthorne being your stage winner coming up to take that this time by.
Yeah, there you go. Stage win for the 54, like you said, haven't really seen the 54 contend very much this season. You can see that number up front here, and really have been one of the fastest cars. I mean, we saw Beckett Brown lead most of that first stage, but 7 was the only one to really keep touch with them. Hawthorne going to get the stage win.
Gets it this time ahead of Ricky Paz, Zachary Kane, Isaac Wilson, Christian Barnes, Jacob Cochran, Dustin Lewis, River Hayes. Playing good, Lauren Vincent. Of note, Jerb Knopsnyder, technical issues. 19 and 79 just got warnings as well for being too fast catching up to the field. And we still have to get up to the pit road sequence next time by with the pit road still closed so they can actually secure those spots.
Yeah, that's a new one. Catching up to the field too fast is not one I've heard before.
It seems to be one of those nights where it's turned a little bit wilder here. A couple of drivers at the back will peel down, and green white checker now officially taken by the 54. Close out the stage. Thoughts on stage 1 here, Morgan, as racing action is about 30 minutes or so in, and it has been pretty intense for some parts of this field.
Yeah, obviously weird start to this race. You never expect to see the top 2, one on each row spin before you get to the start finish line. That is not the first time I've ever seen it happen, but doesn't happen very often. Usually Dover is the place you see that happen, not here with that aggressive banking. But when we've been green, it's been pretty aggressive racing, as you mentioned, single file in some spots, but a lot of 2 wide and sometimes 3 wide battles throughout the field. Couple pieces of contact that were certainly avoidable, and here we are, a few cautions to end stage number 1.
And as they all zoom their way through, should see a vast majority of the field take 4 tires. At least 1 or 2, maybe a couple others, are in line for potential top-offs, or rather flip of the stages. Tucker the third of Monsto is getting damage repairs done. Pit road's officially now open for the field, and we should see just about everybody come down. One of the few, in fact, Beckett Brown also did come down. That's interesting. I don't think he was feeling comfortable on the gas mileage, Morgan.
Yeah, I'm curious as to why he would have given up the stage points then. It doesn't make a ton of sense to pit twice in that case, but also he went through way too many boxes. That'll be a penalty later. Gets 3 in, 3 out. That was, I think, 12 in.
Yep, and so as Tucker the third and John Ullman get closed pit penalties, and Tucker the third also is combined with a restart violation previously here. It's Ricky Paz who wins the race with the pit road race over Kane, Wilson, Barnes, Hawthorne, your top 5.
Hawthorne must have missed the box. He was
Had to
3 seconds slower just rolling pit road. Pit stop time was no different than the guys in front of him, but he was way slower down pit road. Can give Ricky Paz the top spot. King, Wilson, Barnes, and Hawthorne are your top 5.
Can't confirm he missed it. Missed it by a couple feet. And we're coming to choose this time by. Race control is confirmed, so choose, choose, choose. James Sturdivant's being told he can go around the pace car now. And Ricky Paz, first time front of the field tonight. But control this from the outside, Morgan.
Not surprised. That pick makes a lot of sense to choose the outside here. bottom may be the shorter way around, but it's the momentum off of 2 is what you're really going for. And if you also are able to get the jump, the top side's a no-brainer because you're probably going to be single file into the corner anyway.
So, of note, River Hayes has moved up to 9th. He's a plus 10 in terms of his progression since the incident. He'll look to try and charge his way back to the front here on the upcoming run. Drivers as well, like Kirkenbauer and Dixon, took multiple seconds to get pit road damage repair with this caution. 5 is mostly, you can tell it a little bit.
Oh, the 67 is around on the backstretch. Oh my goodness. As we're going to go green here. They're way behind the pace car too.
Sturdivant wrecked down the middle of the backstretch. Green is out. Back underway. Oh, and we're nearly wrecking with Brown on the inside of Lewis.
Oh, we are wrecking. Oh my goodness. King just used up the 27.
Everybody getting physical. Now, Hawthorne will try and get himself back to second with all the craziness. And he nearly got him.
Holy cow. I don't know if the track changed in the last 5 minutes or if these new tires have drivers confused about how to drive these cars. We've seen 2 different corners. The car on the inside missed the bottom entirely. Watch him in the lane 2. Underhill just did it.
And he now drops down the order. He's been running decent tonight. Stage 2, lap 105, remember. You will, no matter what, have to think about a pit stop here. This field, going to see how far they can go. More hits to the wall.
Yeah, a lot of cars hit that a ton. Christian Barnes got it the worst. Car's okay.
Wildness, to say the least. Pass-throughs are now being completed by these drivers and being confirmed as good. It's worth noting in all this, drivers that are quietly doing well on top of the leaders as they all slam. Again, they push tight.
I said at the top of the show, drivers must not have been listening. That turn 4 wall will bite you. Oh, it hurt the 51. That car is damaged heavily. Look at the right front.
That is not looking great for Zachary King here. He's got aero damage. We've seen how big that was with the 5 before with similar impacts. That car is going to struggle on the long run unless there's a caution flag to fix it here. Would be the second lengthy repair of the race for Zachary King.
Hayes works around good. That would be for the 8th position. 81 trying to get back to the point where they started the race and were there for a little while, but not long at all. Underhill and Gillen battle for 10th.
See how much they're trying to charge up to that 14 that's trying to ride underneath. Good. Clearing on by. That is, again, P number 9 in that circumstance. Beckham Brown, for his sake, remember he was trying to battle against the 8 earlier. Well, he's gotten some hits now to the rear. The speed's still there. Up to 6th now as he continues to recover after so many different times having to come through. He took a 7-second stop the last time down the lane. Reggie Kime trying to battle it out with Zach White.
Oh my goodness. Holy cow.
How did he not spin that one out? He looked like he was loose again.
That was so odd. That car turned back to the right so rapidly. That was unexpected. Here comes Yates trying to go around the outside of Cochran. This would be for 13th position.
Now one of those trying to recover up positions, remember. Yates, Mutzel sent into the infield before Morgan and some of the contact. Right now that 10 machine. His pace, or 10 on the racetrack, paint scheme 71 in the sim. Running times, a little bit off the leader, but still relatively quicker than some of those around him. As they make their way up through 1 and 2 up the road, Kane has dropped all the way, ready to 9th.
Yeah, 51, not having a good time. There's the driver. You see the focus? He says it's the time to dig deep. And Don't make it worse.
You can see the frustration a little bit that he had on the face previously, now still does. Very not happy, you can see in the facial expressions. And all he can do is just wait, hope he can recover later in stage 3.
Yeah, caution's exactly what he's looking for. Be able to, having issues with the camera connection there. He's hoping for a caution to be able to fix that car. He's now outside the top 10. Remember, got the contact when he was running second about 10 laps ago.
With that in mind, a lot of battling going on here. This seems to be the type of track tonight, at the very least, that's producing a fair amount of passing chances, especially around a mid-pack per se. A lot of differences in speed coming into play. Mind you, the average pace of the leaders is about 4/10 of fall off so far.
I think it's just dirty air. I mean, everyone in the mid-pack is fighting dirty air of some sort, whichever lane you're in. So it makes the cars quite even, whereas up at the front, they're more spread out, more single file, and the dirty air really only impacts the car behind, as the driver in front has better access to nice fresh air. It makes it easier to pass further back than it does up at the front.
Absolutely. And as they all try and get themselves quick around that 51 machine, of course, of this run, coming up to 133 laps to go in the race in of itself. Still early on in the big picture of one of the longer races of the season, with it being a 4th of July weekend. Not necessarily a crown jewel, but it almost has the race length similar to that of what you may see for one of the bigger races on the schedule, if you think about the big context of things and how this race could ebb and flow tonight. The lights are already turning on the racetrack, by the way, and so it's going to end up being under darkness by the time we finish things out tonight. You better figure out a way to adjust, as this track could potentially shuffle on temperature with that.
Yeah, it should change completely how the track drives. I'm not sure if it will free up or if it'll snug up throughout the race. I imagine it'll free up a little bit, but you'll have more grip. Lap times will go up as Brown missed the bottom a little bit, pushes Isaac Wilson up the hill. Wilson moves back to 6th position.
See him continue. Now Brown, at the very least, though, remember, is going to have to think about damage repair in the next caution again for his situation, because the rear bumper, maybe. But for now, it's not as bad as it could be. He's not running the pace he needs to, like Ricky Paz and co., who are in their 3-car breakaway, running only half a second of fall. Brown is at our 2/10 off the leader's pace.
As the top 3 are working around Moppin back in 23rd, going 3 laps down. But yeah, Paz, Hawthorne, and Lewis have checked out from Barnes by about 1.7 seconds.
All of them separating out pretty substantially as time ticks away. But still, we're going to be in an interesting spot here. We're nearly halfway to the fuel run, for reference, for our field as we go. So for now, fall off is not as bad as it could dramatically be compared to some of the other driver tires. Remember, depending on the track, different types of ways the tires can fall off, so to speak. Touched upon by Ashton Crowder last night. In terms of the Caswell Glass Company series, we thought, oh, I thought it was the 1.5 mile tire with the fall off, not the short track. Well, this racetrack definitely putting these Goodyear Eagles through its paces. Zach White scrapes the wall.
Bit of wall contact for the 77, running 15th right now. Pretty good day for Zach. In fact, the other Zach right beside him, Zachary King, still falling back. Bunch of series regulars from the Motorsports. Oh my goodness. That was way too tight for Ullman off the nose of Clayton Good. Probably should have put that 34 in the wall. These guys are racing very hard back here for 15th.
Yeah, good, mind you. Munsell who fell back here. Big save at one part of the field. Isaac Wilson just reported, but they're still heavily battling on your screen. It's getting pretty intense for some of these spots, to say the least. Here's a look at still the sends going on side by side. Good trying to clear on by King. King hit by Keim on center.
And Kirkenbauer, remember that car heavily damaged. So that should tell you how much that King car is damaged. Felling all the way back to Kirkenbauer, who, you know, we noticed earlier really hurt the right front. I mean, they're running similar speeds right now. Just not a good day for the 51 or the 5.
No, certainly not. And right now we're seeing compare to contrast.
Oh, Yates is around. Or he's hit the wall.
Still going though, but he is crawling on the apron with heavy suspension damage. We stay green.
Surely not the way the 10 wanted to spend the middle of stage 2. Snap loose. Boom. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that thing is that's killed. That car is done.
Race over. Yeah, likely for car 71. You can see him just trying to get to the box to get that confirmation. All that's in mind with the leaders still within about 9/10 of each other. Has setting a good tone. Then you throw it back to some of these other packs for reference sake. It's upwards of 2 seconds between the packs, and then vast majority of the field is running 8 seconds back of the leaders.
Well, you'll see it here. The lap 52. Here are your 3 leaders. 1, 2, and 3. There's Barnes in pack number 2. A few stragglers, including Cochran and Gillen. And the rest of the field, led by Good, the battle we were just watching. Yeah, as you mentioned, about 8 seconds back. That's your field.
And as they all rumble, see White doing his best efforts to just ride and bide his time. It's been, how do I put this? It's been, for him, Trouble's found a lot of ways to head towards the 77's direction. Tonight, though, keeping it clean, just trying to bide his time and pick up points.
I don't know if maybe it's because that car is yellow that contact just gravitates towards it. But you're right. Whether it's the 77 doesn't often cause incidents, but often finds himself involved in them. Because we're going to have a big old wall hit there for the 07 of Lauren Vincent. Skylar Dixon again trying to break into the top 10. Heavy damage on the right front, but that, I'm assuming, Nashville Predators car.
Yep.
I know that's the logo. I'm just assuming that's a Predators car. I just don't see Nashville Predators anywhere on the car.
The logo.
I know, but like the word. Usually you expect the word on like the back the back bumper, you know? Regardless. 11.
Yes, Speedway Shoots is the air sponsor on that car. It's fixed up a lot of the damage at least. It's running similar to that of Zach King in terms of damage on the car, though. Still going to impact him much of the way. You have to feel.
Want to welcome Brianna Fondren to the VSPEED Fast Pass. What's
Welcome.
up? Battle for 18th on your screen, King and Khan. Remember, contact me a couple laps ago. Going to happen again. Khan's going to ship him up out of the way. Here's going to try anyway. My goodness.
Attempting to try and roll ahead, if you will, again. Keim doing Keim things on your screen.
P5, the battle. Beckett Brown caught up to Christian Barnes. That Beckett Brown car, if he can get track position back up in the top 3, this is one to watch. Has led many laps. 31 of them in that first stage, up until the pit stop, which was, still don't know why he pit. It didn't really make a lot of sense. And that cost him stage points entirely just to pit at the stage anyway.
I still don't understand that either, but he at the least, with the way things have settled in here, has plugged away spots. He's now matching the pace of the leaders now that he's got himself opportunities to go, and he's trading paint for that spot.
Yeah, I think if the if he's got a strategist, it probably got fired in that first stage. We got a question here, JP, and this is a tough one, so think long and hard about it. Best paint scheme of the night tonight. Who's got it?
I mean, I like the 5, but it's not a custom scheme, at least to me, in terms of how slick the scheme is. Best for the race night?
Well, you know what? Let's show all of them. Let's do a little through your field. We don't do this very often. Ricky Paz running currently in the first position. We got the 7 Hawthorne, little KBM throwback. And also, of course, tight hips. But I associate this with the KBM car personally. Dustin Lewis. Becca Brown charging through the field with Christian Barnes hot in tow. Over to JP's part of the top 10.
Yes, indeed. Isaac Wilson running down in the 6th position right now. He's right in front of Aaron Underhill, who's making an appearance in the series tonight, the 14 with the blue and the white this evening. River Hayes, I can argue, would be solid on the paint scheme front. I just don't like the generic-ish number that complements that. And then different look for Jacob Cochran here tonight, trying to follow and replicate one of Dale Jr.'s paint schemes in that 9th position. Dixon, we already talked about his scheme, inside the top 10, still riding.
Joshua Gillen running in the 11th spot with Lauren Vincent in the 12th position. Coy Benke running in the, I believe that's Sound Heatwave, apologies, running 13th in the 19. Clayton Good in his car running 14th, and your top 15 belongs to John Ullman in the 34th.
And you throw it to Kirkenbauer. We mentioned his paint scheme with the black, white, and green sheet tonight. Zach White biding his time down in 17th, working around traffic in his usual yellow and blackish white look. Reggie Kime with the Jordan and
Show It Off
machine. I was about to say that, yes. Running 18th position. Zachary King, patriotic look for the 51 tonight, down in 19th. And of course, Michael Daly still running 20th in his 52 car. His pit window was open.
The last drivers running on track here, Elijah Maupin, as well as James Sturdivant. So I guess back to you, chat. Who's got the best paint scheme out here? We'll answer your question with a question. River Hayes on pit road.
Already got the answer for the 51, obviously, but with River Hayes,
it's a little bias in that answer.
Yes, you said it, not me. But I mean, in this circumstance, for a lot of these drivers, seeing how Ricky Paz is doing, some of the errors closing up to them, like Becca Brown, already coming down for service.
Gillen's is the most American. If that's a criteria, then check mark Joshua Gillen. Again, the irony of the America 250 being covered by 2 Canadians is not lost on me.
Huh.
There goes Christian Barnes to pit road. Battle for the lead. Hawthorne trying to take it to Paz as pit stops are underway.
Battle is going underway absolutely here. Paz just said he's pitting though. So this doesn't matter for now because, well, Hawthorne's closing up. It's Paz going for the earlier stop to peel on down and come in for service in the 99.
We talked about the fall off. Looks like about 3/10, so it's not too crazy, but every lap that Paz runs longer than Hawthorne, Hawthorne will have to make up on the backside of this run.
And look at some of the physicality popping up here. Cochran sees a window of opportunity, takes it. Underhill says, I don't want to be involved in this. Likes to back out of it in the wash on wheels machine. In fact, he'll come down pit road and just say, may as well pit in now. Get ahead, start on the stop.
Nothing like right now to make a pit stop. You can easily make it to the end on fuel. As you mentioned, pit window is way open. 110 the lap drivers are going for. Waterforce Gaming says Barnes has the best paint scheme. That one is also biased, but understandable. Domino's consistently in the Mystic Racing League.
And still though, we're talking about a run that's closing in on laps. Gillen Amonso's coming on this time. Wider range of flexibility with some of the drivers trying to split it, but we are at the top of that projected fuel end of range here, Morgan. We're going to see anyone who's stretching it out have to think pretty quickly, and mind you, we're already at about a second of fall off. Some of these drivers are going to have some pretty decent chunks of speed they're going to pick up on as Wilson now cycles the second and with some more stops.
I think it's going to depend on if you were shifting or not. If you were shifting throughout that run, you got to pit here pretty quick. Up to 45 is what I was told. If you're not shifting, you have a fair bit more time to go here because you burned a lot less fuel. So you could probably stretch it maybe closer to 50. Wilson stays out another lap. Hawthorne does as well.
No indication yet from Hawthorne, who was a lot more of a regular last year. We touched upon when we've seen him. He's come down this time. This is Seven's best chance I think we've seen of the entire year. Try and battle for a victory with the way he's handled it. Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God, he just about crashed coming to pit road. Dominating the IndyCar series. KT that we see on Tuesday nights here on VSPEED. Wilson in as well. Zach White will inherit the lead.
White, will he keep going? He's already letting cars go. Hearing pitting calls.
He's got to be pitting, and he's going to crash.
My goodness.
That is not how you enter pit road.
You can tell who practiced and didn't practice on the pit entry.
Kime will inherit the lead. And the only other driver to not pit is Zachary King, who's on pit road right now. So it's just Reggie Kime on an island. That gap growing more by the second. Barnes has already cycled in front of Hawthorne. Paz actually cycled to net second back of the 27. Remember though, Barnes, one lap difference, and he took a 2-tire stop. Not the first time we've seen that this year across any of the 3 series.
With a 1 second of fall off, you could make that work if the car holds up, and that might be a play we see later.
Especially if the condition was building snug. Putting 2 tires on it, depending which side you put it on, will drastically change how the car drives. If you didn't turn late in the run, putting 2 tires on the right side will probably make it turn quite a bit better. And you'll build into a more neutral condition later. As Kime is on pit road, that'll cycle the lead back to Barnes. Caution's out. Oh my goodness.
What's going to happen here?
Zach White spun off pit road.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, this has been a clinic in how not to get onto or off of pit road. I think he clipped the grass. No, hit the bump. And then it just, oh wow, did River Hayes catch a break and a half. The gap was close. Check this out.
Yep. You see where Kime already was down pit road, and now I don't know how this is going to go for some of this. Kime, I think, got told he just entered closed pit. He's penalized.
Which is really, really unfortunate if that's the penalty.
And with Becca Brown coming down again, hearing the call is made because it was a car length and a half behind the line.
That's
now,
so unfortunate. There's nothing you can do.
Richie Kime cycled with the pit stop also. So he did maintain a lead lap at the very least. That's the bright side for now. But Christian Barnes, Ricky Paz, Dustin Lewis, 7 Hawthorne, River Hayes up there. Some of those drivers I just read off, Morgan, are going to be on upwards of 11, 12 laps of tires.
That's right.
They are going to be in an interesting, peculiar spot here with the way things could go for the tires.
I guess we haven't really seen tires if they matter or not. I mean, we've talked about a couple tenths of fall off if you're up at the front, which tells me that it's really track position and air more than tires. I don't know if the 6 laps difference between Barnes, I mean, on 2 tires also, versus 7 Hawthorne with 3-lap old tires, if it'll make a difference. I don't know. And I would almost lean towards it not making a difference. But with 30 laps to go, 20 laps to go, sorry, in the second stage, I mean, we could see Barnes, Paz, Lewis, and Hayes free fall through the field or stay right where they are.
And as race control tries to sort out where everyone's supposed to be, verbally at least. Gonna find out pretty soon how this call will work before we get to the choose. Remember, looking back at the stat logs for the stages to think about that from earlier, 105 is your mark. 105. Less than 15 to go in the stage, and then a lot of people may bolt on fresh tires. Let's find out how this is going to go in a moment here, Morgan. This is going to get pretty significantly interesting. 7 Hawthorne going to be on freshies, but the air going to really help you in 4, I think, for Barnes' nose to counter that.
Yeah, the choose is going to be vital for those drivers, especially Hawthorne. If he's able to line up behind 1 car versus 2, could be the difference between winning the stage and not. I don't know if we choose here. Yeah, Barnes goes top side. Yeah, Hawthorne to the bottom. Not really surprised there.
You see choose go pretty swiftly for everybody. So we'll try this again. 14-lap shootout in the stage. Barnes and Paz on the front row. Then it's Lewis and Hawthorne. Wilson and Hayes. You also throw up there drivers like Dixon and Cochran. Maupin just got a choose violation. 92 was at the very tail end of the field either way.
Yeah, sometimes penalties when you're already, 5 laps down, the last car running, it is what it is.
I mean, you can collect them on like Pokemon cards.
You
Say I
can.
got every penalty.
I got 3 penalties on 1 stop last night. That was pretty fun.
I mean, didn't you get an incident point black flag too?
I got everything last night. I hit everything but the pace car.
Surprised you didn't break into the broadcast booth after that. We're back on our way, and Barnes got clear. Here comes the true test, though. How will the speed hold up in the next few laps in the corners? Already rotation's much better. Paz struggling in the dirty air. Now Barnes is struggling off the corner. Lewis up the track.
Run comes from the second row. Paz and Lewis closing significantly on Barnes down the backstretch. Hawthorne did not get off of turn 2 well. Second and third got to sort it out if they're going to make a run at Barnes, however, as they're almost 3 wide further back.
Doing there. Cochran, apologies on the radio. He's amongst those in the tight battles back there. Paz really struggling to keep it down to the low side alongside this 8 car. Looks like it's Lewis, though. That's up to his highest point of the night. Up to second. Now he needs to work fast if he wants to take this race lead and try and get a stage win.
Oh, he got the wall off of 4. I don't think he hit it a ton, but enough. Probably woke him up a little bit. Oh, Barnes missed the corner.
He's
it
up the
did
track.
not turn for the 27. And here comes Paz back. Lewis had the lift.
It almost looks like he tried to stick it up there. Kind of wonder if he's trying to take away a line, knowing that Lewis is amongst those forced up high side. Paz has the run. Hawthorne's got the fresher tires trying to get the run. He's looking 3 wide.
We're going to see 3 wide. If they're not careful, they can't have that middle lane so open. He's going to drive it in there. Oh, and the 89's almost around behind him. Dixon with a big sideways slide saves it.
Nightmarish night continues for him. Side by side still for P2. Coming in 10 laps to go on the stage.
He is the epitome of 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the 89 tonight.
It has kind of been that way. But for Lewis, he's looking to take some big strides forward. Paz seems near equal on speed, though, and still putting up some good side-by-side battling to the point that Hawthorne's catching every time in center.
And there's nothing the 54 can do. There's really only 2 lanes here. If you go any higher, you'll end up in the outside wall. Any lower, and you'll spin on the apron.
Risky game. Question is, do you like playing the game of risk, or do you want to flip the board? All this is to say, right now, Christian Barnes getting helped very much by this fight. Now another poke. That is Hayes on older rubber. Nearly ran to the back of the 54 with the checkup still with the side-by-side for P2.
And when you're side-by-side like that, dirty air behind them doesn't really matter because everybody's got it. And the worst part is Barnes can't even get away from this. I mean, oh, he finally, what a move by the 8th. This power move off of turn 4 is going to get the clear. Hawthorne's going to get the clear on Paz as well. 99 in free fall.
They just stopped the gas while Paz got tight. And now they need to close 4/10. Look how much the gap's already grown up. Paz has burned up his stuff on the short run, I think, because you can see how much he's struggling just to hold back. Hayes and co. Hawthorne let it roll a fair bit through the corner this time.
Yeah, I think Hawthorne might have burned it up too. Contact with Hayes and Paz.
Paz up the track. Able to keep it from the wall, though. Great save by the 99.
A little scrape, but that's nothing to write home about.
And as they all go single file at this point, coming to 6 to go. Knock, knock. It's Dustin Lewis. He's on the doorstep. How does Barnes play this? Well, they'll hit the wall.
Still more momentum for the Lewis car.
See how much Lewis is trying to get the car to cut through the corner right now. Try and get below the air, below those rear headlights.
Great run.
Yeah, he's finding clean air pockets. He goes above the 27. Might get some dirty air impact there. That's why he had to turn the car back to the inside to get out of the dirty air again.
Still got a great run off the corner. It's going to be about a 10th into turn number 1. Lewis, he's there with 4 to go in the second stage.
Running out of time to do it. Lewis has a good head of steam. Equalizes by the stretch. Now we'll send it up the inside. Stretch to the point. No. Now he snaps the gas. Barnes still with a run on the high side. Nearly scrapes the wall. Lewis is trying all his might. 7 Hawthorne will try and pass them both if they aren't too careful.
Oh, near contact. He chopped the nose of the 8.
Barnes does not want to give this up. He wants those points. Wants to help out his chase positioning, his standings positioning. Lewis again will reset. Hawthorne and Hayes alongside for a moment in second. Grouping lined up in the pack. Third spot, should say.
3 wide for the lead.
Hawthorne thought about it. Didn't like the angle, though. Resets. Was a smarter play.
Yeah, that probably saved 3 race cars. That one move right there, because there was no way 54 was going to make the corner. That was going to be a 12 turn better than 4 situation down into 1.
Side by side, we go again. Coming to 2 to go. Lewis has the nose in front for the first time in this fight. Trying to pinch up. Side by side, Lewis gets the lap lead. Puts a lap lead on the board, his second of the race. Barnes.
There it is.
Missed the center.
That's
this
what
is
he
the
needed.
Run.
Can't clear off the corner. Barnes in the wall. He's clear now. Finally got him when Barnes shifted up into 5th. Give Dustin Lewis for the first time tonight the lead entirely off of turn number 4. He's in it one more lap to get to the stage.
1 to go, stage 2. Battle is now on for second. Off note, Brown has driven himself all the way to 5th after more
the wrecking
damage.
behind him. Wilson's
Wilson.
around.
Kept it out of the way, though. Great save by the 93. No contact. Now it's Hayes trying to make his way around the 27. Now Pelfrey Technologies machine gets better center roll, and the lefts are gone on the 27. Tires matter a bit here. Lewis uses his to take the stage, this time through Hayes, Barnes, Hawthorne, Brown, Paz, Cochran, Underhill, Good, and Gillen.
What a great run to the end of stage 2 for Dustin Lewis. Barnes fades in the last couple laps to finish 3rd, but I mean, that's what we're looking for here at Nashville. That's what we all came to expect.
And so, Lewis getting some laps led, puts himself through different stage winners than normal.
That's right.
Tonight. He's 9th in the points. 1 top 5 all season for the 8 car. He's trying to say this is a night he might say, let's put a number 2 or maybe a 1 in the win column.
Well, why don't we chat with him? Maybe we'll wait till after the pit stop here, but
yes,
Dustin Lewis queued up. Would hate to be the reason he didn't have a shot at it.
absolutely, especially if they make an adjustment or have a team call. But
Yeah,
still,
5 cautions so far in this one. 7 lead changes. We just saw probably the most dramatic one happen moments ago.
and here we go. They all work their way into the box. Let's see, doesn't look like too many issues here on the stops this time. Pretty much on point.
Pretty clean, looks like. I didn't see anyone slide through their box at all.
Nicely done. But who wins the strategy race? 4 tires for everybody? That we'll
River
see.
Hayes.
Hayes! Wow.
Easy clear, not even close.
That was, in part, well, Lewis was actually a second and a half slower in the lane.
And a
Now
much
let's see.
slower pit stop in the box as well.
Hold on, 7 Hawthorne, I think, got a speed penalty, and he nearly got ran over trying to serve it because Beckett Brown and Ricky Paz both nearly followed him as he stopped. And the 54 to the tail, and a couple of other drivers will look to do the let's go to the tail dance.
Let's see this one again here. Was it off of pit road or was it? Oh, right here. I see.
And Beckett Brown's trying to do the same. Paz is like, what are we doing?
Did Brown speed as well?
Yeah.
Not a great way, considering already put himself behind the 8 ball on strategy. Do with a penalty, too, is not going to help. Already at the choose here. See if we can catch Dustin Lewis for just a couple moments. Dustin, Morgan and JP in the booth, you got a copy.
That I do, Morgan. How y'all doing in the booth?
Doing quite well. Scott, your first stage win of the season. Does this car have enough in it to get the checkered line here first today?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, this car has been pretty good all race long. First stage, it kind of died off there at the very end, but the second stage with the fresh tires we got under that yellow flag, I mean, Christian, he was doing everything he could to hold us off, but the tire grip just became the thing that decided that. I hate that he got into the wall when I was passing him, but that's racing. I don't really know what else I could have done.
Anything else you want to share before we get you back in C4?
Watch that 88 car, because he's probably got a missile under there, too.
Here we go. Good luck the rest of the way, Dustin.
10-4.
Stage winner Dustin Lewis going to restart here. Bottom of row number 2.
All set to go to start the stage. Racing 188. River Hayes to the front for the first time since the initial start. This time, no tire spin. This time, no spin arounds. This time, it's clean with the 81 in front.
That just tells you how hard it is to recover from a mistake. I mean, that was 110 laps ago, and he just now got back to the point.
Yeah, remember last night, swept all the stages, including the important third one for the victory in the Canceled Glass Company Series.
I don't think I saw him all night.
He was up at the front much of the night.
Yeah, that's why I didn't see him.
You were in the top 10. Until you weren't.
Barely.
At least. But seriously, though, some of these drivers near bump to bump. Wilson.
Oh, contact on the backstretch with Gillen.
Yeah, that machine is having a moment. There he goes, and Underhill is pushed up the hill.
I saw Barnes just stab the brake pedal off the corner to avoid sandwiching the 19 and the 14, or sorry, the 89 and the 14 together. Still cars in the outside wall.
They all try and rumble their way through. It's been, I think, a relatively decent night for that 14, though, to give it a shout. Top 10 much of the evening. It's been, outside of getting pushed out of the way, a couple times really bounced around here and there. He hasn't had a major contact in that situation. He's raced everyone respectfully.
Barnes is wrecking.
Oh no! 27's around as you said down the back. No caution yet. He's off the line, and I don't think he'll get one.
Man, that is heartbreaking. Just about won the stage, ended up finishing third in it, and that is pretty much going to kill the day for the 27. He got driven into the back of down the backstretch.
Yeah, watch the 19. And Barnes, disappointment on the radio is, I guess, what you can describe. He is now running near a full lap down because of that spin.
That's one of the ones where you want to just park it on the racetrack. You know, it's a heartbreaker. I've been there. We've all been there where you were having a good day and something like that happens that if you were, 70 feet to the right and on the racetrack, it's a caution every day. But because you were in the grass, no caution flies, and your day is the worst because of it.
Still, though, as we all turn laps here, some of the drivers with speed penalties, 10th and 12th, Brown and Hawthorne, are on the pick-me-up. See them right now trying to work either in front or behind the 19. 7. Looking to get around quick. Look at that send.
Like, that's the difference between shifting and not shifting. I don't think the 19 is shifting right now. 54 clearly is.
And obviously, you have to know this stuff because if you have a car designed to say shift in the corners and you don't shift, you're burning the right front apart.
And just getting slower off the corner as well. You're just having trouble getting it to launch off exit. Both things are certainly true. like I said earlier, you do save more fuel for what that's worth. And if it's a fuel mileage race, that's obviously very important. But it's not looking like fuel mileage is going to be the name of the game here tonight. A lot of cars testing that outside turn 2 wall, and we can confirm it's working, JP.
Indeed, for some of these drivers it is. I think that kind of just shows how much the group has kind of shuffled a little bit here tonight. Because it's, well, the bottom's still the dominant line, I feel. You can make the higher groove work if you're searching for error, if you know what you're doing.
Look at our driver cam driver once again, Zachary King, still fighting the damage on the 51. Back in 15th position on the lead lap, however. Having a great scrap with the other car with major right front damage, Indy Kirkenbauer. To intensely battle.
Here you see King just still in the midst of his recovery drive, if you will, trying to make up positions after earlier on.
This is one of those points battle kind of mentalities where you just go out there, get every point that you can, because that's all you can really do. You don't have a car is able to win. Your little door contact there, maybe a little displeasure shown, but your job right now is just to try and keep it on the racetrack and log laps.
Indeed, and you right now see he's getting pressurized by a couple of different drivers. Trying to keep the wheel steady. As right now, this is one of the better battles forming up on the racetrack. You still have Scott on the leader, not fully running away, it's worth noting. River Hayes still is the one in the front of the field by 6/10. Some of the others just trying to battle like right here. This again. One for the 19 alongside Brown. That's 11th spot. On hand, there goes the 45. Up the road, 2. Dixon has made his way back to the top 10.
If you're on the pit box of the 89 right now, you're probably thinking, what is going to happen next? This car's been spun around, hit about every corner, spun off the initial start of the race. It has just been a not great day for Skylar Dixon, somehow still in the top 10. For the driver, I believe already victorious in Nashville. I think he won the truck race on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's had to repair the car a few times over here tonight. Up the track, Maupin knocks the wall down. He's going to be in front of this. They got to get around quickly. How is Dixon going to handle the lap? Traffic right in front of the battle for position. Not going to hold them back. Although Underhill does make it small tap.
Here comes Hawthorne. Hawthorne's going to get a 2-for-1 here. Wherever he wants it, he's got it. Oh, he picked the wrong spot. Could have got to the corner to the 89, chose to go behind him, and now he's going to have to fight for this rather than taking the easy momentum. Underhill going to get loose. This might give Hawthorne what he needs anyway.
See, wow, that was a bit of a cut in front. That was near trouble. Underhill up the hill. That, I think, was closer than Hawthorne. I think may have realized the contact there.
And then it just planted the nose of the 14 in the dirty air, and that thing went straight up the hill. They'll just battle on track right here.
Yeah, nearly spin around for Dixon. Here comes Hawthorne. Getting a little bit on edge after battling around for the past while. Finally gets the job done.
Not
Took
over
a few
yet.
laps. Got the block off though. As long as he keeps it in front by turn 2 exit, should have it.
Oh, the 89 almost spun it again.
Isaac Wilson having moments up the track. Dixon gets back in line. Clinton Good dropping on through as well. Some good saves going on back there.
The Good just about crashed. Sturdivant now getting worked over.
just how things have gone, by the way, for a couple of the drivers who've already been trying to get away. But Brown still now falling back. Brown all of a sudden struggle busing.
I have to think the tires are gone on this 45. Let's see in car. Watch the steering wheel. That's a fair bit of wheel at this stage of the run.
Yeah, this car is not looking the best right now. On average of the past 10 laps, it's 6/10 off the race leader. He was
We're
on
talking
par.
slowest car on the racetrack right now is Beckett Brown.
Yeah.
At least on the lead lap, slowest car, and it's like 4/10. Like, this car is way off right now.
Yeah, it's not turning right front. It's dead.
There's no way we're saving fuel to the end if you're Beckett Brown, right? That's way out of the realm of possibility. So it's got to be just handling related. Yeah, that car is evil right now.
Mind you, the fuel number based on the count. Still going to go to the far end of the window, possibly, of that mark, because if you add up the number 17 from here, you carry all the numbers, boom, 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 you get to about 40, 43 laps to go, or about 40 laps into the run or so, based on not including the fact that the pace laps and the mileage. So a few of these drivers going to be a little tight here, Morgan. That's going to be something to keep an eye on here. A couple drivers had been a part of the top-offs, but not really many.
Yeah, I think the drivers that we'd be... I don't really think anyone on the lead lap. They all hit basically the same time. You're right, the top-offs would be Underhill on forward and 9th. Someone just caught the wall in a big way. I think that was Daly in the 25 or the 52. Got the wall pretty good off of turn number 2. But back to fuel mileage, I think we're all basically in the same boat. But you're right, we can go 17-ish from here, add maybe 1.5 based on the pace lap. So let's call it 18 laps from this point. And that's going to put you in the window to make it to the end, but not by much. Green, white checkers, which we've seen at this racetrack in real life, causing issues. We had, 8 green, white checkers here one year? This place breeds some wild finishes.
Agree with you on that. If we somehow get Joey Logano type of fuel mileage saving with all the cautions, cautions on repeat, we're in a different story or a different zip code. But for now, though, a lot of these drivers having some of the longest runs of the race
season
here. I don't know about the season.
Maybe it's just this racetrack that makes it feel like every run over 15 laps is 100. I think it's because they're so slow in the center of the corner. It just makes it feel like these guys have been going for quite a while. It's been 25 laps. It's good to see. No question about it. But right here, it's like, oh, these guys are really struggling because they're only going 120 in the middle of the corner. It just feels like a weird racetrack in that regard, JP.
Let's put it this way. Beckett Brown just got rear-ended by John Ullman for 12.
And they're 3 wide. That's not good.
Yeah. Brown is
major damage.
Yeah, they are rolling so slow, Brown is, with the tire situation. They're going to be running him over on the apex. That's a sign that says, I am not handling it well. I don't have the speed. And then in the center.
Oh, yeah, that's a big hit. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yikes. They're still together. Ullman, that's probably going to hurt his day more than anybody else's. Now that the nose is pushed in like that, that'll be very tight to handle.
I guess he can have a garage beer after this. Hey, it's on the car.
That's
set yourself up the layout.
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
And as they go, we're about 10 laps from the green light on fuel, give or take. So for now, as they all start to really separate out here. More and more traffic's going to come into play for a couple of these drivers here. Mind you, these drivers, with the way things could go, might even be in the conversation, be lapped by the checker flag if we go green the whole race with the pace difference so far.
And they're over half a lap down and certainly not gaining time. They are 0.6 to a second off the pace. As Hayes still leads over Lewis, Paz, Cochran, and Wilson. All about a second apart from each other. Clayton Good, the same for 6th. Then Hawthorne is really this is the closest battle on the racetrack right now. Tells you just how far apart and hard to pass it is at this place.
And see how much Hawthorne just tries to stick to the bottom here. Got alongside the 91.
I think Clayton gave it up on that one.
I mean, from that far back, why? I mean, you kind of have to.
Right.
Car's just that much faster right now.
Yeah, there's no reason to cost both of you time and pull you back into, this group back here with Dixon, Underhill, and Gillen. And 52 just put the wall in a body bag.
Ricky Paz, by the way, still running top 3 after some of the battling we've seen at the end of stage 2.
I'm pretty impressed with this 99.
Yeah, he's been really fast whenever we've seen him in the series. Again, known him the name for years. He is a driver that can put together good speed, and we're seeing that here.
I saw him, I believe, make his debut. Charlotte 600, I think, was the first time I saw Ricky Paz in this series, and ran decent in that race. Since then, just solidly been top 10 car every week, and running 3rd today. A good shot at getting even better than that if we're able to catch a strategy potentially.
Mind you, after tonight, there's only 5 more races to go until the chase. I think we haven't emphasized that enough. Now, a lot of not even the same type of circuits, because you've got Chicago Straight Course. That's one of the longer races on the schedule. Iowa, where you're surrounded by cornfields. Indianapolis, that is going to be a different date. That is a crown jewel for that respective weekend.
On a Sunday.
You have Richmond. That one's a short track. Could be a while. And then another full distance race, at least based on the schedule, at Daytona. 160 laps, 400 miles as your cutoff race. And I don't think that's technically speaking a crown jewel, because the way it's set in the dates. We'll let you know once we get closer to that on the confirmation. What I'm trying to say here is, Morgan, these races to end out your season are not easy ones to even tackle if you want to score points. This is probably the easier of the 6 left.
I would agree with that, and I can confirm that the Daytona race is full length too to end off the season. So technically crown jewel, if you want to call it that, be your summer Daytona race, but that one will be heavily contested as well. No more winning, you're in, so that maybe eliminates some of the craziness we typically see in those races, but points will still be necessary for a few drivers to clinch their way into the chase. Paz on pit road, first taker.
Can he make it 43? Remember that window was higher up around 45-ish at the very top?
I don't think there's going to be much of a problem.
As long as he doesn't overburn things up, I think he's good. But everyone else gonna have to start thinking. Put their thinking caps on, if you will. For now, River Hayes will say, I don't need my thinking cap right now. I need my race car hat.
Lewis, I think the risk for pitting this early are some of the drivers getting on and off of pit road. I think that's really your worry right now, less than anything else, is are we going to have a caution trap us a lap down?
Dustin Lewis seems the only driver to take the risk along with Ricky Paz. 14.6 in the box for the 99. And Jacob Cochran, who is second on track, is the next one to come on down, with Hayes now reaching heavier traffic.
Yeah, Wilson, 6 seconds off of your leader, cycles up to second. Expect to see the 81. What do you think? Is he going to run it out, or is he going to pit here in the short term?
He's already got a solid cushion, I think you could argue, Morgan. So it's up to him, and right now, the green light on fuel already being reached this time by to be fully certain. Right now, 42 laps of the run. He says, I've got to come in now. So he and a lot of others about to duck in with a spin on pit exit. It's Jacob Cochran is around on the exit. No caution yet. We stay green.
Well, that will hurt, obviously. The run for the 88 lost a bunch of time, about 30 seconds. With that, now it's Hayes on pit road. This is going to be the question. He's racing against Lewis. Where is Dustin Lewis? Just now unlapping himself.
Right now, that 8 trying to find a way to push hard. Needs to gain a lot of time and fast. Meister's already behind Ricky Paz in the cycle. Wilson works his way around the traffic. 7 Hawthorne's been able to chew away some of that gap to him. The 77 moves up the racetrack. 51 amongst those who will come in this time by Clayton Goods already come in. Joshua Gillen's coming in. Zachary King about to hit the pit road cone.
See most of the field pit. Only a handful left. King's going to come off that list. Good and Gillen already on pit road. It's Wilson, Hawthorne, Ullman, and Kime. Lauren Vincent. There goes the 93. There goes the 54. Very few drivers to pit still. Lauren Vincent. Now everyone's on pit road. And Ricky Paz will cycle out in front of River Hayes.
And that is by at least a few seconds here. They cycle. You know what?
That's quite a lot. Quite a lot. Yeah. What's the reason?
Well, that's got to be with the 4-lap undercut. Remember, the fall was 1 second.
Right.
You do the math. That works out to a lap gained on track per lap, second on track per lap. And now that's coming to play with the 99. If the tires hold up, has a huge cushion.
And then it's Lewis. Cycles to second. Looks like Wilson will cycle to third if he can get up in front of the 81. This is the battle. Oh, they put each other in the wall around the 52. Oh my goodness, the sail in on the bottom from the 81. Holy cow, that is not how you want to exit pit road. Somehow, all 4 of these drivers did not end up in the outside wall.
Hayes squeaks on by Wilson as the drivers on fresher tires get on through. And some battle on track for the various spots here.
Oh, there goes 7 Hawthorne around. Into the grass.
Didn't get a caution, though. He's able to gather it up. We stay green. All this is while Ricky Paz is probably thinking, please no yellows. Please no yellows.
You want some added drama, JP?
Sure.
Light starting to flicker in the studio. Severe weather en route. So if we lose connection here, it's nothing personal. It's just Mother Nature.
For those curious, there are major thunderstorms currently destroying the entire province of Ontario.
And Saskatchewan.
Apparently everywhere is what we're saying. So for a lot of people, their 4th of July starts with big kabooms and big power outages. I think we lost at least one driver to those power outages already this race. Still, though, with under 34 laps to go, everyone is just marching and trying to figure out where are they going to settle in. Hayes and Wilson. That was actually pretty well closed up by Wilson on the count because he, with a 2-lap better pit stop, or rather overcut to Hayes, is right up with them. Clayton Good is also picking up speed. He's got solid pace. They're all half a second quicker, those names I just mentioned, than your race leader.
Yeah, this is going to be a fascinating end to this race. Should we stay green, even if we get a caution, I think we are in for a absolute dandy of a finish. 93 trying to work around that lap votive car. That's Kirkenbauer, first car 1 lap down right now. Even the Lucky Dog battle's intense. Kirkenbauer, Barnes, and Time all on your screen for the first car 1 lap down.
Barnes, a little bit of pressure. Race control, I think, just gave a warning to some of the leaders and lappers to be courteous of these leaders that are mixed in here, because here's the thing, your battle for the Lucky Dog is right in the middle of the battle for the top 4 as we go. So you've got a battle within a battle, and it becomes the question, do you risk being careful? In the case of Barnes, he's a little bit faster right now. He can just make the pass on the outside and hits the wall because of the push-up.
I think as long as you don't get into the side of or into the back of one of the lead lap cars, it's all fair game for the Lucky Dog. This is your race right now. If caution comes out, you're running second, you're running where Kirkenbauer is, might as well just sign the check and say the race is over. But Barnes has a chance still now, being in the Lucky Dog spot, so long as he isn't the caution, to have a shot at running well in this race. Remember, he almost won that second stage.
And so long as Beckett Brown doesn't fall off even more, oh wait, he is the driver about to get lapped by the 99. So that point is mute, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're a ways back as well. That is not particularly close. That battle is, what, 6 seconds? And they're now at the start finish line. Beckett Brown already rolling 1 and 2. This 45 has fallen off a cliff. This needs to be studied as to what happened. I mean, even still, I mean, he's like, we saw King get damage as well, and King is running quite a bit better than that 45 is, and King's had damage for about twice as long.
Can confirm right during the pit stop window, Brown hit the wall. He's also got a little bit of left rear again, Brown does, so the damage is stacking. Seven Hawthorne, for his sake, going from one of the drivers in the conversation for the race to win to needs a caution to have the chance to have the conversation or be at the table at least.
Now, just this pit cycle, I think the track cooling down has eliminated some of the fall off and made it so that the difference between pitting early and pitting late was a significant one. Remember, Hawthorne stayed out the longest. He only pit 9 laps ago. Your leader, Paz, who was racing around Hawthorne, that was 7 laps, and then obviously the speeding penalty not helping the 54 either on the previous stop.
Also doesn't help that he spun, right? So there's that too.
That will also not help.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. You know, so we're coming around 26 to go. So as these drivers turn laps, drivers tonight that might be in interesting spots in a couple weeks. Obviously, no Aaron Baum. He's only made 11 starts this season. Right now, believe Zach White might actually have a chance to get in front of him, regardless of how rough things have gone in the past couple of months. So, that being said, for the drivers like Ullman, for King that have had some ups and downs, the big thing is everybody else that's needed to catch for the cut line that we touched upon in the conversation earlier, Morgan, didn't execute or has not executed at least the way they've needed to. All those needs are below red or your probation where they can't even be on a race team right now. Reggie Kime into the tow zone right now, or Anthony Maria Jr., who we've seen not make every start. So really speaking, that gap's going to grow for 14th, 15th, even though with the roller coaster it's been for them tonight. 16th is the one question mark on how that 77 does once it takes them by the time we finish Chicago, likely.
Yeah, we'll be curious. At least tonight, Kime should jump ahead of Caleb Hunt. White should also take 16th away from Baum. King will advance a little bit his position on the cut line. Robertson will fall down into the conversation as well. He hasn't been here for a few weeks. It's topsy-turvy with drivers not making every race, as we have 3 wide on the racetrack. Going around Maupin. Time a lap down. Maupin a number of laps down.
Hawthorne is in, question mark?
Yeah, this is an odd one.
I think he went down there. I can't tell if he did the... He spun down pit road. I don't think he had enough fuel.
Oh, he did spin down pit road.
I think he was trying to enter it, though, Morgan.
Let's see here.
I don't understand, other than unless you feel like you don't have the chance to win.
He's done for the day.
Yeah, he just parked it. So his chances for a good finish were done, because whatever he was trying to do here got exasperated in a race by this.
Yeah, that is interesting. I'll have to see if we can find out throughout the week why Seven tried to come back down pit road. I can't imagine it was just because he couldn't win the race. And, I mean, that car's fighting for owner's points. That's why he was in the car tonight.
And in theory, if you're the owner, you want to at least see him make the finish.
That's right. At least if it's something like the car isn't damaged or you're not getting penalties for continuing to run, I mean, I would do my best to run it out. Not the case here tonight, as King's about to go a lap down. This would be lapping 11th.
For reference, Seven's best opportunity after a spin like that for finishing order would have been 17th. He's now down to 19th. The lowest he can now finish is 20th. But for Ricky, time stood up pretty well, but there's an interesting part and caveat to that. The gap is now down from 6 seconds to under 3 seconds. The problem is the drivers behind are running out of time to do it on the gain, and I don't know if they're gaining enough here. With 18-ish laps to work with, these drivers on the close are fluctuating between closing and losing, and it's only up to 2/10.
And Hayes has to get around Lewis. Remember, Lewis and Paz basically on the same tires. Paz and Lewis basically on the same tires. It's Hayes who has the tire advantage, and Wilson even more so, but Wilson's got to pass a couple more cars to get up there. So I feel like if you're Ricky Paz, you're feeling pretty safe right now, as long as you don't drive the tires off the car. And if King would maybe cut you a little slack here, you might feel a little bit better as well. I'm not saying he has to. Let's make that clear.
Want to be respectful of the leaders, be predictable. Here's that battle for second, you were saying?
And also for the lucky dog, though. I mean, just like we were saying earlier with Barnes, I mean, Barnes he's on the screen. He's clearly got speed to catch up to King. If you're King, you want to stay in front of the leaders as long as you can in case a caution comes out, so you don't have to rely on fighting against Barnes later.
Side by side for second on your screen, by the way, as Hayes, fresher tires, 3 laps or so. It's the difference on the cycle, and it feels like tires do matter a bit. We've seen 3.1 seconds. The distance now needs to be closed and fast. We're talking about 15-ish laps to do it, and that is a tough task. They did close 2/10 this time, though. River is trying to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's I don't think quite going to be enough to get there. Be close, but
it's time to do the caution dance.
It is, unless you're Paz. But of course, Paz working through traffic, that will also slow the lap time down. Had to get around White that time by. Hayes has to pass those same cars.
See how much a few of these drivers are battling now. Underhill Still your highest running Canadian. He's the only one on the field who's candidate tonight. But in all seriousness, again, the Underhill Racing car has looked steady this evening, trying to score points for the 14. Catching up to lap traffic. Joshua Gillen gets tight in his arrow.
As Ricky Paz has cleared the traffic, Hayes has cleared the almost cleared the traffic. So he's just catching up to White now. Actually, a pair of Zacks. How does he navigate?
He's got to navigate it fast. You know why? He got 2/10 lost through 3 and 4. He was picking up a fair amount of speed down the back. So right now, Hayes needs to get around the 77 rapidly. Cannot afford to be held up at all. See him having to take the low side to get around that traffic. One of the worst feelings, reach the car on corner exit. That comes into play. It's still 2.4-ish seconds. That's coming up to 11 laps to go, and now Zachary King's dirty air to go off of. Here's that interval.
Yeah, Hayes is going to have to get around King within the next lap or two. Cannot afford to get stuck behind the 51.
I don't think he's getting past him and for the next 3 laps, though. Unless King does
King's
that.
going to get out of the way.
Doesn't want to play a factor.
Wow.
Lets him go, and that is going to give some clean space for Hayes to now work with. Now, let's see what he can do for 10 laps. He's going to need to be pretty quick, though. He needs to fly.
Yeah, it's got to be over 2/10 a lap to even get to the back bumper of Paz, and then to pass him is going to be difficult. You'd probably need 3 laps to get that job done. So
By the way,
Michael
Daly is officially out of the race. He just told race officials he had been laps down. He wrecked down the back straightaway, but did not bring a caution flag. We keep going. 2 seconds, not enough. And one driver's hoping for a caution to reset.
Oh, Hayes just knocked down the wall.
Didn't damage the car, though. Still got to go. He's down to 1.8.
Eight laps to go.
It's just 3 and 4. Paz is stronger than the 81, it feels like. That's where he gains so much time. He gains about half the gain that Hayes has in 1 and 2.
Can see them now on the same shot. 1.6 seconds.
1.5, but remember that time's ticking up again.
Yeah, it's the entry to center is where Hayes loses in 3, but he gets it all back on the exit downstream. Not this time, though. Did not get a good run down the straightaway.
Paz is taking a little bit of a higher arc into the corner. Still gets the bottom. That time, only a 10th picked up through 1 and 2. That's not needed. Coming to 6 to go. Hayes running out of time. They've already ran away from the field. Paz has led 68 laps. Hayes has led 41. The 2 most dominant cars of the night. Dead even on the game this time. Nothing picked up for Hayes on the actual interval at the start and finish line with around 5 or so to go coming up. Paz is in the driver's seat. Pun very much intended and is well in control. He needs drivers like these ones to have no problems in the battle for 3rd.
As you mentioned, battle for 3rd picking up. Battle for Lucky Dog picking up as well. That would be for 11th. That's the 51, the red, white, and blue 51, and that black, red, and blue 27. Interesting mix of cars here.
King trying to make sure he's out of the way of the leaders. Right in front of the leader he goes, in fact. Coming to 4 to go. Lower line for King. Now Barnes trying to pass him for the Lucky Dog. Trying to get some insurance.
Five more times around.
Down to 4. Oh, King, here we got the back of the 93. They're getting close on the bumpers here, Morgan. And no contact for the Lucky Dog.
able to keep that car pointed straight. Hayes to his closest point yet. 1.3 seconds, running out of time. Paz is in lap traffic, though. It's Maupin in front of him. And there's one car in front of Maupin. I believe it is John Ullman. I don't think he's going to get there, though, with only 3 to go.
Maupin has been pretty cordial. He stays relatively up the track, out of the way. Ricky has what he needs to see to try and pick up a cup win. Oh, he's clutch and coasting now. Paz is close on gas now.
Oh, this changes everything. Hayes pit 4 laps later, should have no problem on fuel.
Paz, remember, had to go 43 laps. We touched upon it earlier. Paz didn't play in the clutch this time. Still 1.1 seconds. Final couple laps here. Paz, does he play around with the gears? This time through, no clutch, looks to be safe now. Coming up to 1 to go, this time by. The 99 started up front, has kept it up front. Final time around in Nashville.
1.3 seconds the gap. Paz gained that time off of 4. Half a lap left.
Did blip the clutch a little bit in 1. Now he's backing off the throttle into 3. Paz trying to make sure he doesn't let this interval go. Coming up to the checkered flag. A coast to the line. It's Ricky Paz who wins in Nashville. And I think he might have just ran out of gas. Or at least turn it off.
Well, if he ran out of gas, he picked the perfect time to do it. Yeah, I don't see that car accelerating at all. I think he is out of fuel.
If this race was 189 laps, this race is River Hayes's. Instead, Ricky Paz played the gamble, just got it right.
Talk about perfection on the strategy. Oh my goodness.
75 laps led, and another different winner in this series this season. That list so far is in the double digits.
Enough to burn it down, so probably just saving fuel so he could do a burnout.
12th different winner in the Cup Series, by the way. And one of the drivers I don't think you'll be surprised to get a victory with his race experiences for about the past half decade or so. But it's Slim Chimkins Cup Series victory for Ricky Paz tonight. He'll finish ahead of Hayes. It was 8/10 or so at the line. Lewis fell down 4 seconds to the checker flag. Wilson was half second within the podium spots. Good finished up in the top 5 with Cochran and Underhill and Gillen. Pretty relatively close in the respective battles as well. Banky gets the top 10, dropping the 19 car with Dixon coming from 2nd to 10th. He finishes in the top 10.
King rebounded after that heavy right front damage to finish in 11th. Christian Barnes right behind him in the 12th spot. Beckett Brown will finish 13th. Indy Kirkenbauer in the 14th position. Lauren Vincent with a great run in 15th spot. Reggie Kime solidly 16th in front of teammates John Ullman and Zach White, 17th and 18th. Maupin will finish in 20th, and Seven Hawthorne, after electing to leave early, will finish 20th.
21st goes to Daly Sturdivant in 22nd. Yates down in 23rd after what's been a wicked night for him. Tucker was a DNF very much towards stage 1's end. Knopp Snyder, he ended up losing connection, 25th. And we also had one other car in the field, and that was Rose. We've seen him involved in one of the first stack-ups of the race, and he never came back out on track.
I think he blew the motor on that lap 1 accident.
So, need to pick up points for Devin Curl. He got the opposite of points here tonight for the 15. And so, that's all top to bottom at your unofficial race results tonight here for the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Drivers already standing on by to talk things over. Ricky Paz making an appearance in the Cup Series again here this evening. It's been a few years since we last talked, Ricky. You get a win tonight. You just made it on gas. How's it feel to go to Sofa News Victory Lane?
Justin Prince and Morgan Cook. I can't believe we got a win in the Mystic Racing League. It's going to be a big party night in the Paz household, dude. This is I feel like we've been so close already a number of times, and to finally come away with one is really awesome.
Talk us through the decision on the strategy play too, because we knew the fuel window was green light around 40 to 45. You went 43. What was that in terms of the decision to go for the undercut and see if you can make the time stick on the track?
Truthfully, it all relates to it's half strategy with John Stellard, Indy 500 winner, awesome crew chief and teammate to be on the box for Indy Kirchenbauer and I, but it really all boils down to stage 2 there, Justin. You know, we took a look at what we were able to do with a little bit of the undercut in stage 2. We were leading, right, and then we wanted to pit a little early, and we had that untimely caution. I think we absolutely would have won stage 2 had that gone green. And so we were kind of using that to our advantage, you know, a little bit of that knowledge that we had on our competitors. And I knew we could go 45. I knew it would be tight. It definitely was tight for me, and I know it was tight for Dustin as well. We both were at a point definitely short a lap on fuel. So trying to save and also maintain the lead, that was definitely an experience, but one that paid off for us.
So that being said, what's the plan now for this series? Now that you become the 12th different winner in this series, do you plan to run more races? Do you plan to run the season out? What's the plan for the 99 car?
You know, we got invited a little bit later than I probably really would have wanted to for the Slim Chickens Cup series, but you know, we're gonna run it out as much as we can, every race I can make, and we'll see where we can get. You know, I don't think that we're eligible or even close to making the chase, but you better believe we're gonna make as much of a run for it as we possibly can. And yeah, I mean, I'm having fun. Hopefully the broadcast has had fun. I know that it's been really cool to race with some of these people in the Mystic Racing League. You know, there's a big skill gap, but the top guys are definitely when you beat them, it definitely means something.
Any shout out you'd like to give here tonight?
Got to give a shout out to John Stellard on the top of the box, Indy Kirchenbauer in the race. I know he was a bit of a menace, so we'll go back to the votive racing shop and help him clean it up. But big thanks to Shane and Mason and Casey and Sophie and Micah and all the teammates over at Votive Racing. You know, we do a really good job on the IndyCar side. That's kind of our main gig, and so we're just trying to learn. You know, trying to branch out a little bit, do a couple different things. So definitely to the Votive Racing shop, to the Zapicki Zone and Zapicki Live on Twitch, all the chat and followers, and thanks to the fiance, love of my life, gonna get married soon, love you, and thanks to my family and Justin and VSPEED and iRacing and Downtown Auto Sales and Sofa News and all the sponsors that we got to go through, brother.
Congratulations on your victory here tonight.
Thank you.
Ricky Paz gets the job done here this evening. River Hayes picked up a win last night in Castle Glass Company Series competition. He comes up just shy of picking up the Women's Slim Chickens competition at the big track. He's with Morgan.
River, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, it was looking good for a while in this one. You came off pit road about 6 seconds back of Ricky. What more could you have done to close that gap on the fresher tires and get this one away?
Yeah, honestly, Morgan, it was a pretty shitty race on my part. I made so many mistakes tonight, more than I should have. I don't know if y'all caught this on the broadcast, but coming out of pit road, I spun myself. So I had to get the car turned around, and that's where I lost all that ground too. So just poor judgment. I mean, I made too many mistakes tonight, especially on the initial start. Just couldn't get the car in gear. I went to hit the gas and it just ripped it around. I think Skylar did the same thing. So there's that. And I misjudged one corner with the 14, and I got him sideways too. It's just poor judgment on my part all night. But yeah, no, I drove the wheels off this thing once I got it back out there trying to catch him. I knew he was going to be close on fuel, so I figured he would be saving a little bit, and I gave it my all. I don't even think I have a right front lift on this car. My wrist hurts, but yeah, just got to blame it on myself.
So to recap your entire night, I mean, you cut that gap down from 6 seconds even though you had the incident that put it up to that distance, and fighting from all the way from the back of the field after that spin on lap 1 to get within 8/10 of the win to finish second. Are there any positives to take away, or is this just a close the book on this one and move on to next week?
Yeah, I mean, I do love this track. I love it in mostly every car except for this one. I mean, the dirty air is terrible. The car drives terrible. It's just one of those things with the next gen. But I feel like I was the best at wrapping the bottom all night. I think I had the best car. It just came up short to Ricky there. He drove great there, trying to save fuel and stay fast. So got to give it to him. And overall, great race for the league too. We didn't have many natural yellows there. So overall, good night for the league, and we'll continue to next week.
All right. Well, we got you up here. Anyone you want to thank or shout out for a
Yeah, I wanna-
solid second here?
Shout out Smith's Race Development, Ryan Pelfrey, the league on a great night, and happy 4th to you guys.
All right. River Hayes, second place in Sofa News Victory Lane.
River Hayes coming away with that second spot. As mentioned, Dustin Lewis having one of the strongest runs of his season. Second top 5 of the year. Dustin, talk us through your night.
Oh man, it was a heck of a race and a hot one. I mean, I don't know how you guys felt in the booth, but in the car we were probably sitting in 150 degrees, it felt like. But no, man, this race was probably the best we've ever put on here at MRL in the Cup Series. I mean, this race had everything, close racing, good battles, and we had fuel strategy right there at the end. I know because I talked to River and Ricky while we were waiting in the waiting room, and both of them were trying to save fuel right there at the end. And I think Isaac Wilson, and I can't remember who was in 5th, was doing the same thing. We were all trying to just baby it, trying to get to the end, and thankfully we were one of the ones that got there on the podium, saving fuel.
Absolutely. So that in mind here, as we go about a race like this, it's been obviously an interesting season for you. You are one of the drivers that is in the conversation for the chase. You're one of the higher up drivers for your team as well in the point standings. It's been kind of going through your mind with trying to log spots, but also pick up points as this championship has gone closer and closer to that chase starting next month.
I mean, we're mainly just going to try and keep doing what we've been doing, placing inside the top 10 and every now and then getting a top 5. Here, and this is your second top 5 of the season. I'm like, good grief, where have I been finishing all year? But that's the main thing, and taking advantage of when we have better tire strategy or we're in a better position to execute. Like at the end of the stage 2, we knew Christian had only taken 2 tires. We knew everyone else, including us, had taken 4. So it was a matter of who's going to get up there, who's going to put pressure on him, and whoever puts pressure on him and gets by him first, that's whoever's going to win. I don't know if it was really noticeable on broadcast, but dirty air plagued everybody tonight. It was hard to get in a lane that was not being occupied, that you could be fast on. It just made it really hard to pass it sometimes. And in that situation, Christian did what he had to do. He blocked lanes, he cut air off, he made it to where it was hard to get to him and pass him. But at the end of the day, tire grip kind of came in. We managed to get by him. We managed to score that second stage win, our first stage win of the entire season. Finally, after 18 races, we're finally got a stage win. But that's what it's going to take for us to continue to be in the chase, is executing when we need to and keeping our car inside the top 10, scoring points, being there at the conclusion of these races.
That in mind, one other thing to keep in mind too, Chicago Street Course is the next race. How do you feel about going back to the Windy City?
I would prefer Chicagoland. I've raced that this week, and I like how Chicagoland drives with these next gen cars. It can be at times pretty bad with the dirty air, but there's a lot of lanes you could use at Chicagoland. I feel like that's just a much better track. But I don't make the schedule. MRL makes the schedule. Street course, this is going to be a first for me, so I'm probably going to spend a lot of time practicing and getting braking points down. I'm going to try and rely on a lot of my GT experience to kind of get myself 95% of the way there and pick up that other 5%, just logging laps and seeing what's comfortable, what part of the car, what can I adjust brake bias wise to get the car to turn in and then launch out of the corners. With it being a street course, there's a lot of bumps. I'm expecting a lot of attrition. So if we stay out of it, we'll be there at the end of it.
Any shout outs you like to give here tonight?
I'll shout out to the Lord above for giving us another opportunity to turn laps tonight. Shout out to my parents because I'm pretty sure they're watching in the other room because I think I hear myself through the wall. Shout out to my other family members tuning in and watching. And shout out to you guys for putting on a heck of a broadcast. It's very much appreciated. And shout out to Ricky with a heck of a win. Well deserved.
Congratulations on the top 3 here tonight. Dustin Lewis coming away with the top 3 here this evening. I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to speak to us during post-race coverage here on VSPEED. Final thoughts on tonight, Morgan, because Nashville definitely had a wild one to start, but a calmer end. Inverse of the last night's race, you would say, to Caswell.
Yeah, bigger track, better track. I can say that with 100% certainty. That last one last night should probably just get filled in to be a swimming pool. Tonight, though, the Super Speedway put on great racing, as we saw pretty much all night. Some interesting timing for cautions. A lot of drivers having issues off of pit road was surprising, I think. But nonetheless, fuel mileage to the end, something we've been asking for about the last 20 weeks, and we finally got it this week.
Definitely an interesting one here this evening, but it's just about time to say goodnight for tonight's coverage of the Slim Chickens Cup Series here on VSPEED. The America 250 goes the way of Ricky Paz. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in for tonight's coverage. Mark Cook was the producer and co-announcer, Dougie Beard, the camera provider. I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching tonight's coverage from iRacing's virtual Nashville Super Speedway. I'll see you next time we go racing from the heart of Chicago, the Windy City.